Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. Okay, good evening. Welcome to another one of my videos. Tonight I will be answering a series of questions asked to me, and I will finally be answering them. Now, some of my answers you may not agree with, and obviously, well, they're not your answers, they're my answers. So, if you have a better answer, then you make a YouTube video and answer those questions that I was asked. So, first of all, let's start with the weather today. I can't believe it. It was 63 degrees today. In December. It snowed this week, and then 63 degrees. Alright, that's a little odd. So, talk about climate change. So, the first question that I was asked is, if you had godlike powers for one day, what would you do with them? Well, if I had godlike powers, I guess I'd want to rid the world of poverty and pollution. There's too much of it. Not as apparent as it used to be, but there's too much of it, especially in New York City. There's people everywhere who have, these signs. Could you spare $1? Could you spare $5? Whatever it is. And then you have these other people who have given up on life and have signs that they're carrying saying, I'm not going to lie, I just need a beer. So they want you to pay for their beer. Oh, by the way, I should mention, I don't know how long these YouTube videos go for. So I'm going to talk until it cuts me off. And if it never cuts me off, well, I don't know. You could be listening to me for quite some time. But by the time you're watching this video, it should show how long the video is. So, yeah. So back to the question of what I would do if I had godlike powers for one day. Well, I would provide an abundance of clean water to countries that previously did not have it, such as Mexico. I think it was in 2009. There was a big problem with the water there or something. I'd still never drink the water, but something really bad happened in 2009. I don't remember the specifics, but it wasn't good. So I would also reduce the number of various diseases, illnesses, and medical problems. Too many of that going around. Okay, moving on to question 2. If I had the chance to talk to anyone, alive or dead, who would it be, and what would I talk about? Well, that's a tough one. There's lots of people that I'd want to talk to who are here, who I probably will never get to talk to, and who aren't here, who are no longer with us. I'd have to say Abraham Lincoln. Especially what's going on with this country today, the way it is. This is not how he envisioned this country. I'm sure of that. So, as you all know, when we were in school, we learned about something called the Gettysburg Address. What it stood for, what it said. And at that point, the president was commemorating a cemetery for the fallen Union soldiers at Gettysburg. And the last line, if I remember it correctly, is we shouldn't forget that it is a nation of the people, by the people, and for the people. So let's start with that. If it is the government of the people and by the people, then we are talking about people who are responsible and have to act responsibly. And we are also talking about the fact that government is there to serve us, not the other way around. So that's a lot of what we're seeing in government today. Uh, it's the other way around. We are seeing these mediocre people elected to substantial positions because very often substantial people don't want to run for government office anymore because of the hassles of it. And we have these mediocre people taking positions where they can affect the lives of 300 million people or so. I don't mean to keep drifting off here, but this light in back of me, I'm sure you see it. It's affecting me more than it is you, believe it or not, because it's shining right onto here directly, shining right back onto my eye, and I can't look at it directly. So that's why every so often I have to change this. It's not that I'm getting bored or anything, it's just I can't. Look, it's too painful. If I had sunglasses, it would be easier, but I don't want to put on sunglasses. You want to see these eyes? I used to get compliments on my eyes when I was little. Everyone would say, "Oh, Michael, you have gorgeous eyes, gorgeous eyes. Oh, those eyes, I gotta go pitch them." But, something, not anymore. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm always wearing these sunglasses. Because the sun outside is just too strong for my eyes. I can't. And the believe it or not, I don't mean to get off topic here, but the sunglasses, believe it or not, made my eyes worse. Just worse. And I'm only going to make the video like 20 minutes tops, because how long can you really watch a video, right? So I'll make the video 20 minutes tops. I'll make other videos, don't worry. And I mean it this time, because I have a lot to say. I was asked a lot of questions, so I'll answer them. Getting back to the sun, so it's just too hard on my eyes. The sun is just my mortal enemy, so that's why I need the sunglasses, because my eyes are just that terrible. My vision's good. It's 20/20 vision, but the sun and my eyes just do not get along at all. So that's why I'm just having a really hard time looking at this right now. As I said, it's shining right onto my camera. It's going right back on my eye, and it just hurts tremendously. So I'm getting back to the government right now, and how Abraham Lincoln wouldn't have wanted to see what is going on today. So whether you believe in Obamacare or not, that's the law right now. So you have to deal with it, and we have to get moving. So whatever the position you have on it is, folks, that's what the public voted for at a particular time in our history, so which was 2008, I believe. So that's what we have now. We have to work around that. That being said, the government, way too big. I think it's just way too big, and the government has forgotten its vision, that it is there to serve the public. So when Abraham Lincoln did deliver the Gettysburg Address, everybody served in the army. Big ones, tall ones, strong ones, not so strong ones. If you had an ear infection, let's say, you still served. If you could only see out of one eye, you still served. You did what you had to do in order to take that responsibility to the next level. So if you have children, for example, you have to do whatever it takes to support them. That's your job. If you made children, you have to support the children and bring them up, the ones that you made. So, like, I don't want to support your children. You support your children. You understand? So, if you have 3 children, you have 3 children because you know how expensive it is to raise children. I'm getting off topic here again, but this all relates to the government, and I'll explain why in a minute. It's very nice that, yes, sure, you could pop out a baby every year, but actually, your parenting responsibility is to have only the number of children that you can afford to take care of. And now, when the government in effect says to you, you know what, you have them, we'll take care of them. And when the government says, in my view, and I know this is going to sound harsh. I'm going to get lots of negative comments about this. Don't send me negative comments. I'll just delete them. I'm not going to read them. I'm just not interested in your negative comments. If you have, like you were taught when you were little, if you have nothing nice to say, just don't say it, because I don't want to hear about it. If you are a drug addict or an alcoholic, let's say, and I actually don't think that's the kind of disability that should be subsidized by the American public who work hard for their money. Those people who are working, if you choose drugs and choose alcohol, you may. It's a free country. By all means, choose it. But let your family take care of you. But, you know, you hear these stuff all the time, and it's been going on as long as I can remember. People are receiving disability because they're either drug addicts, alcoholics, some have bad backs, some suffer from, you know, carpal tunnel, lupus, whatever the case is. I know an individual who has lupus. Sometimes she's tired, but most of the time she gets up and does what she has to do. You know, sometimes it's debilitating, sometimes it's not. But this person who I know that has lupus isn't getting any disability whatsoever. So what this government has done to people, and she may qualify for it, but she hasn't applied for it. So what this government has done to the whole group of people is to say, not to worry, if you can't take care of yourself, we'll take care of you. I can't, I have to move this a little bit. I can't deal. I don't know. It's a little better, but it's still going right on. Ugh. All right, sometimes not, but if there's a man, let's say, a perfectly capable man who's been going to college for years and getting $20,000 a year from the government, and the only thing he can do after 7 years is, let's say, play the guitar in a band, I think somebody's got their hands in the wrong pockets. So it's just not what, bottom line, not what Abraham Lincoln envisioned for the future, and certainly not what he'd want to see today. And that's why I'd want to talk with him and see how he felt about the subject, because I, for one, well, you know how I feel about it, but he probably feels the same way, if not stronger. I'm sure he'll feel much stronger about it, because this is not what he wanted the American people to be going through. So the next question I was asked is, what's worse and why? Having expectations that are too high, or having no expectations at all? That's a tough one. So, generally, I'd have to say that worse is having no expectations at all, but that's not the case for me, and this